Hello, my friend. I am so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this month's astrology. It's gonna be an eventful month. This is going to be such an interesting September. Oh my goodness, so much is happening. I'll be going through the major transits of September. I will then go through your weekly astrology forecast of what to expect this week. So I'll be diving deeper into that. I'll also be sharing how to understand your past lives in astrology, what to look at, and to really take note of what would bring you the most fulfillment this lifetime and what you're learning to release this lifetime from a past life. I will then end off this podcast episode with you with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into this. Now, September's astrology is going to be really eventful. We will be ending Mercury retrograde in the upcoming week on August 28th. So in September, we're going to be in the Mercury retrograde shadow period, and we'll be retracing some steps that happened to you in July. So that's going to be really interesting. We also have Uranus turning retrograde at the start of September on September 1st. We also have eclipse season beginning. And the thing is, this is not your usual eclipse season, which, again, eclipse season in itself is a very chaotic time. It's a very fated time. Time can feel sped up. It can just feel like things are moving really, really quickly. Now, the thing is, this eclipse season is going to hit you differently because this eclipse will be happening in the sign of Pisces. And the thing is, this is going to start off a new series of eclipses happening in the Pisces Virgo axis. So this hasn't happened for us since 2015 to 2017. So it's been a while. Things that happened to you in 2015 to 2017 are going to come back around, but you're seeing things in a 180 perspective. This is going to be super, super interesting. I'll dive deeper into eclipse season when it's closer to that time. This lunar eclipse in Pisces will be happening on September 18th. So take note of that. Now, going back to the beginning of September, we start off the month with Pluto retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn. This will be the last time Pluto is in Capricorn. Now, Pluto will stay in the sign of Capricorn only for the next few months, and then it will move into the sign of Aquarius again, where it will stay for the next 20 years. Now, the last few months with Pluto in Capricorn, I want to caution you that it can be really, really destructive in terms of society in general. We are going to be seeing the downfall of capitalism, so much so, in the next few months. We're going to see all these things revealed to us in terms of what is wrong with society, what do we need to change, how can we, the people, with Pluto moving back into Aquarius in a few months, how can we, the people, take charge, come together, build community, use technology to benefit everyone, whereas Pluto in Capricorn was here to help us understand, okay, how can we let go of these systems and structures that no longer serve us? How can we, the people, understand what is actually working for us? What societal structures are actually benefiting us and which are trying to use us? This is going to become very, very clear in the next few months. So take note of this. This is more so on a global level, but we all are experiencing this differently individually, depending on where Capricorn is in your chart. So wherever Capricorn is in your chart, you could have had some massive, massive transformations in the last few years. This could have been an area of life where you really felt things crumble, where you felt like things really had to completely change for you. So you could have felt really tested in this area of life, and hopefully you feel a lot more excited about this area of life for you. Yet there's still some things about this area of life that need to change. Now, on September 3rd, we have a new moon in Virgo. So, this will be really interesting. I'll be doing a deep dive into this new moon in Virgo on next week's episode for you, and I'll be going through the new moon in Virgo chart for you. So, stay tuned for that. If you want to manifest with this new moon, you can come join me for that. It's going to be so much fun. I'm hosting a new moon in Virgo manifestation ritual with the Moon Sign Creative Community. We're going to be making vision boards, and I'll be going through what you need to take note of in your vision board because there's some mistakes that I see people make, and this will change the game for you on how you make vision boards from then on. So you know how to best manifest and bring in what you really, really want in your life. Now, on September 4th, we have Mars entering Cancer. This is what's going to make this month a bit more moody for a lot of people. We're going to see people really start to act based on their emotions. I personally love Mars in Cancer if someone has this natally because they're usually very protective, they get a lot done, and they're able to really emotionally connect to someone in a very deep way. Yet, as a transit, Mars in Cancer can feel very emotional in terms of how we work and take action and how we date. Now, in terms of dating, I do think people are going to be quite moody. Not going to lie on this. Yet I also think with this transit, we're going to have a lot more at-home dates. It's going to feel a bit more cozy. People are going to be very sentimental. People are going to feel like they want to protect us or they want to take care of us. That is the beauty of Mars in Cancer. The dark side of Mars in Cancer, though, is being passive aggressive, emotionally reacting to situations without processing your feelings first. So be aware of this, that if you are in the talking stages with someone, people can feel a little bit more on edge and a bit more moody. Now, on September 8th, I do want to point this out. This is going to feel a little bit jarring. We have the Sun in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. So this can feel a bit restrictive. We could feel like we are not seeing eye to eye with an authority figure. This could be a boss, a mentor, or a parent. We could just feel like there is a little bit of tension or conflict and we have to have a conversation, or perhaps we just feel really restricted in terms of how we personally want to express ourselves and what this person thinks of us or what this person wants us to do. Take note of this. I'll dive deeper into the major themes of this next week. Then on September 9th, we have Mercury entering Virgo again. So this is going to be really lovely. This is going to be really supportive. I think communication is going to greatly, greatly improve with this, which is so needed. We will be going back to past themes that happened for us in late July and early August. So take note of this. We're going to see things in a new perspective from that time. Then on September 18th, we have the lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is a full moon, and this marks the start of a new chapter for us. Now, it's interesting because this will be a full moon, so we are ending a chapter in our lives. However, we are also beginning a new chapter with this series of eclipses. Now, we still have one last eclipse on the Aries-Libra axis. This is going to be super important to note. This will happen for us October 2nd with a solar eclipse in Libra. Yet before we end off that series of eclipses, we are starting a new cycle on the Pisces-Virgo axis. So this will bring up similar situations that occurred for us in 2015 to 2017. Very, very interesting to note. Again, I'll dive so much deeper into those major themes for you in an upcoming episode. Stay tuned for that. Then on September 22nd, Libra season begins, and this is going to really shift our focus to one where we're really going to be relationship oriented. I see Libra season as cuffing season, which if you're in a colder climate is much more natural. I recently found out that cuffing season doesn't really exist if you live in a warmer climate, which is pretty funny actually. But in Canada, at least, I do see Libra season as the beginning of cuffing season. So Libra season is always a time for us to really reflect on our partnerships, our friendships, how we can strive for more balance in our life. I'll dive deep into your Libra season horoscopes very, very soon. Then on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio. This is going to shift how we show love and affection and how we date, also what we value, especially in terms of business. And then on September 26th, Mercury enters Libra, so our communication and thinking is going to shift towards relationships even more so. We end off the month on September 30th with a Mercury Cazimi in Libra. Now, I do want you to put this in your calendar because I do think you're going to get some really good clarity on a relationship around the 30th of September. And with the solar eclipse in Libra happening on October 2nd, that's also going to put more light into the situation for sure, but that will be a pivotal new beginning in terms of relationships. More on that very, very soon. Okay, so that is your September overview on the astrology of the month. Now, with Mercury retrograde ending, but us still being in the shadow period, we are seeing a completely new perspective this month. With eclipse season beginning, this Virgo season, I do think this Virgo season is going to be a bit more messy with eclipse season. It's going to feel a little bit intense. I will say, I think August's astrology was the most impactful astrology of the year and the most tense. However, September's astrology is making us reflect on what happened for us in August, and it's helping us really change our perspective. September, we are going to really be opening up to this new portal in terms of our reality. You're going to see situations unfold with more forward movement because eclipse season really speeds things up for us. And because we're starting a new 2-year cycle with this series of eclipses, you're really going to get this opportunity to close out some old cycles, to close out old chapters, but also experience some new beginnings for you in a really, really exciting way. So September to me is quite moody, quite messy, but also very exciting. I see September as a really fun month. It's not going to be picture perfect like Virgo season really wants us to have it. However, we're seeing things in a way that really helps us in terms of our next steps forward. Now, going back to the transits of the week, let's go through August 26th to September 1st. Starting off with August 27th, Venus in Virgo is trine Uranus in Taurus, and this is exciting for us. This feels really nice. I think you're going to get a lovely surprise when it comes to either your relationships or finances. Maybe you get a sudden sale. Maybe you get an offer at a job that you really wanted. Maybe someone treats you to food. Maybe you get a surprise coffee that day. This could look like a lot of different things. If you want to use this energy to your advantage, I would say to really experiment with your art form if you are an artist. So this could be trying a new medium for your artistic practice, or you go to an art class, or you just go to a gallery and you just get very inspired to create. A very lovely energy for this. Or you go on a spontaneous date. That could also be really, really fun. Now on August 28th, Mercury turns direct in the sign of Leo, meaning that we end this Mercury retrograde. So think back to what was happening for you on July 17th, 2024, because you're seeing a situation from that time in a new perspective. This is because Mercury will be at 21 degrees of Leo, which it was at that time. So go back to your calendar, check to see what was happening for you July 17th. You're going to see things in a new perspective on August 28th. This is why astrology is so fun, just to understand these patterns, these dates, to see how impactful your life can be by understanding the patterns of your life. This is why it's so much fun, honestly. Now, what's also happening this day is Venus in Virgo is opposing Neptune in Pisces. So I will say that when Mercury is direct that day, communication can still feel a bit frustrating and there can still be a lot of miscommunication, but also because Venus is in Virgo, opposing Neptune in Pisces, we could feel really confused about a relationship or our money. So maybe there's a confusing bank payment that you have to pay or a credit card payment. This could also look like you don't know what's happening with a certain relationship. You don't know how to feel about a certain relationship. Maybe you're in a really strange situation where you don't know if someone likes you. You could honestly just feel very confused about a certain situation. Now, I will say to use this energy to your advantage is to really tune into your spirituality this day. Meditate. That could be really, really healing for you to do, especially with this Neptune energy. This can help you really envision the kinds of relationships you want in your life and how you want to see yourself, how you want to tune back to your own power. So I would highly recommend just doing something that's very healing and nourishing for you on the 28th. Then on August 29th, Venus enters Libra, and this is really exciting. I love Venus in Libra. Venus is at home in the sign of Libra, so this could feel very romantic. We could feel like we really want to connect in our relationships. People can feel a bit more accommodating. You could just hear a lot of, hey, I was thinking of you. Do you want to hang out soon? This is honestly going to be a really lovely time to go on dates, to make art, to listen to music, to have more fun, to hang out with friends. You're going to really love this energy. This is a really beautiful energy. Now, the same day, Venus in Libra is trine Pluto in Aquarius. So we are transforming our values when it comes to relationships. We are looking to understand our relationship dynamics in a different light when it comes to our friendships and community and our one-on-one partners. So maybe you are feeling more excited and motivated about a certain relationship in your new friend group and you're getting closer to someone, or perhaps you meet a new friend and you want to invite them to a group hangout with your other friends. This is very possible. This is really open. This is really lovely. This is very transformative in terms of your friendships and community. So I do really love this energy. And finally, to end off the weekly transits, going back to September 1st, with Uranus and Taurus turning retrograde, you can get some shocking surprises when it comes to your money, food, environments. This is a shakeup. So you're going to be rethinking a lot when it comes to the Taurus sector of your birth chart, and Uranus retrogrades really stir things up. You could potentially get an epiphany in this area of life for you, especially when it comes to food, finances, or art. So you're starting to see what does safety actually look like for you. Maybe you're getting a breakthrough around your money mindset. This is a huge possibility during this time. I will say Uranus retrogrades can be a bit uncomfortable. It is a generational planet, meaning that we won't feel this as much as a Mercury retrograde or a Mars retrograde or a Venus retrograde. However, take note of what happens for you on September 1st, because we have Uranus and Taurus turning retrograde and then Pluto moving back into Capricorn. So I do think on a global level, we're going to see something in the news around either finances, society, capitalism, corporations, something big business that exposes a secret in some form. Very interesting to consider. So those are the transits of the week. I am super, super excited for September's astrology. Honestly, I still think it's going to be a really fun month and a lot lighter than the intense astrology of mid-August, which was a bit intense with that full moon in Aquarius. And honestly, I think the new moon in Virgo is one of the best times of the month. I think that's going to be really expansive for us, and it's going to really help us imagine what kind of future we want to get into. And if you want help with that, check out my new moon in Virgo event. It's going to be so much fun. I honestly have one of the best communities out there. We're going to manifest together. We're going to see how this new moon is impacting your chart specifically, and you get to make some new friends. So it's going to be super lovely. Now, I want to dive into past lives on this episode because last week we talked about the astrology of karma, and I mentioned the North and South Node. Now, in this week's episode, this is going to be super juicy. The nodes in your birth chart are major placements to look into of what you're healing through this lifetime, what you have to leave behind, but also your past lives with your South Node. The North Node in astrology is where you're heading this lifetime. It's what gives you the most fulfillment. You're going to feel propelled to tap into more flow and opportunities with that North Node energy. You're going to just feel so much more excited by that North Node energy. Whereas your South Node represents your past lives. That really uncovers your relationship to your ancestors, which generational patterns you're trying to break. What do you get trapped into? What toxic cycles do you lean towards in terms of the trap of the South Node? And that is when things get difficult, because oftentimes if we get too stuck in our South Node energy, we can get stuck in the past. We could feel like we're repeating patterns that our family has experienced. We can be in codependent relationships, for example. We could feel like we're trapped in people pleasing. We could just feel like we keep repeating certain relationship patterns or career patterns, and we don't know why. We could just feel like this is what we're supposed to do, and that is a really tricky situation and part of your birth chart to explore, because when you understand your South Node, you could still have some beautiful gifts with your South Node energy, because that's what's easy for you to access. However, if you just stay within your South Node energy, you're not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel like, I've been there, I've done that. You could feel like you're just repeating certain patterns. This isn't for me. This isn't what I wanted. Whereas the North Node, that is where you feel so propelled forward. That is how you're going to break generational cycles. That is how you are going to come into your power of, oh my gosh, I feel so fulfilled. This is my purpose. This is my destiny. That is your North Node energy. And for myself, when I started to really understand my South Node and my North Node energy, that's where I started to see, wow, this is why all my relationships failed. This is why I kept getting into codependent relationships with my South Node in Cancer. I kept being stuck in my people-pleasing mentalities. I have my moon conjunct my South Node in Cancer, so I was super nostalgic from the past. I kept getting stuck thinking that this person is my person, even though they're not showing up for me, even though they don't actually want to be in a relationship with me. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep over-romanticizing the past because it's not helpful. It is leaving me stuck and I can't move forward. That is the trap of the South Node. And for me, it took me a while to get this breakthrough of, if I lean more towards my North Node in Capricorn, that is where things really took off for me. That's where I feel so fulfilled. My North Node in Capricorn has helped me build my business. It's helped me set more boundaries in terms of relationships, so I know what kind of partners to pick now in terms of romantic relationships. It's helped me really build more authority. It's helped me understand how to show up better as the authority figure of my life, so that I can build a business that thrives, that really does well, that has grown throughout time and keeps getting better and better. But also it's really helped me see I need to balance both my North and South Node, because I am a Cancer moon, and with a South Node in Cancer, I knew that I can help people with my business to really take better care of themselves and understand their emotions, to not fear their emotions, but still build a business to help more people heal throughout this lifetime. That is my purpose. I'm helping people understand themselves emotionally, how to better take care of themselves emotionally, how to love themselves in a deeper way so that you can transform your life, your business, your relationships, and really tune into what would actually make you more fulfilled and hopeful for the future. Now, the interesting thing is, my past life, I was a mother in a past life. I 100% know this. I know that I was in a codependent relationship in a past life because I've seen this happen to me in this lifetime. I've been in codependent relationships and I could see myself repeating the same patterns as my ancestors, and I started to see, no, this is not actually what I want. So it's knowing your ancestral patterns with your South Node energy and the trap of your South Node so that you can understand what you're learning this lifetime with that North Node energy, how you can actually use it to create the life you love this lifetime. And the reason why I'm bringing up the North and South Node energy for September's episode is we have eclipse season. And eclipse season happens on the North and South Node. So currently, the eclipses are in Aries and Libra, and they're going to shift into Pisces and Virgo. And for myself, I started to understand my ancestral patterns when I had my nodal opposition. So this happened when the North Node was in Cancer and the South Node is in Capricorn. If you have your nodes in Aries and Libra, or you have your nodes in Virgo and Pisces, you will be experiencing your nodal opposition or your nodal return. Either you already experienced this in the last 2 years with the nodes in Aries and Libra, or you will be experiencing this in the Virgo Pisces axis if you have your nodes in Virgo and Pisces. Now for myself, when I experienced my nodal opposition, it was actually harder than my Saturn return. And I'm saying this because I want to be completely honest. My nodal opposition showed me what wasn't aligned in my life. These are major pivotal points for you to understand, what do you have to let go of with that South Node energy? Are you living in alignment? Because the nodes really show you your purpose this lifetime, what would feel the most aligned for you, and what would fulfill you. So eclipses really highlight this for us. It really helps us understand, are you living in alignment to what you actually want, to what is going to bring you fulfillment? And once I started to trace back major eclipse dates and how this affected my North and South Node in my birth chart, I started to see major breakups happening for me. I started to see major career changes happening for me. I also started my career as a professor before I decided to step down. And understanding these major points in my life helped me really understand, what do I actually want out of life? Which relationships really fulfill me? Is this relationship aligned to me? Is this career path aligned to me? So go look at your North and South Node and dig deep into this. And if you want help with this in any way, I am re-releasing my North and South Node course, Finding Your Fulfillment, Embracing the Nodes of Fate. This is such a transformational course of understanding what your fate is this lifetime. What are your past lives? What generational cycles do you need to break? And how can you tap into more fulfillment and joy and alignment this lifetime so that you can activate more purpose in your relationships and career this lifetime? I go through all the North and South Node signs in this course. I also go through what this means based on the houses the North and South Node are in for you. So this is a really deep dive course. I go through some advanced astrology as well so that you can time track major events in your life so that you can understand the major patterns in your life based on this. So for a limited time, I'm going to have the course 50% off. Students loved this course with me so much. I had one student say that she wished she had it 10 years ago because it was so good. It would have saved her so much grief and pain if she knew this knowledge 10 years ago, because she would have felt so much more fulfilled in her relationships and career. So if you're feeling called to this, go check out the course. I'll leave a link to that down below. You could save 50% off for a limited time, and I'll be hosting a live Q&A for this in October. And if you purchase the course before the live Q&A in October, I can pull up your birth chart for the live Q&A and we can dive deep into your North and South Node placement to see what past lives were you experiencing and what your unique birth chart has to say about your North Node placement, of what would bring you more fulfillment and joy this lifetime, and what certain aspects of other planets mean for your North and South Node placement. So I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to dive deeper. And let's get into your tarot reading. So the first card out for you is the Eight of Cups reverse. This is super interesting. I see this energy as there might have been a situation that you went back to during the retrograde. And now you're recognizing, no, I have to leave this behind, or you could just be letting go of the past this month and you're seeing things in a way where you're recognizing you just have to step forward. You just have to move forward and let this go. I see this as a lot of releasing energy. You're trying to figure out, okay, why do I keep gravitating towards the past? How can I remember that I need to go on my own path? I need to follow my own journey. I'm really hearing this message. The next card out is the Seven of Pentacles. So you could have felt like you put in all this work and effort and you're not seeing the results you want to see yet. You could have put so much work and effort into making more money, making more sales, or just building something for yourself, and you're recognizing, okay, why is this not coming to fruition? Or why can't I enjoy this? Maybe you're overworking yourself and you're realizing, I don't have any time off to actually enjoy my life. So I see you in September really understanding, okay, how can I have a better work-life balance? How can I know and trust that money is always going to come my way? Or am I living in alignment? So I do think the eclipses happening in the Virgo Pisces axis is really going to help with this and understanding, are you living in alignment? Now, the next card out is the Four of Pentacles. So I see this as you could feel a little bit scarce in terms of your money. You could feel like you have to guard your money, or you could just feel like you're not feeling worthy of what you want. You're trying to build something better for your future. You're trying to protect yourself. Yet I also see this as, are you protecting yourself too much? Are you not seeing the abundance that is around you? How are you not witnessing what you already have? So I see this card as you could just feel like you're overly protecting your money right now, and you're just feeling like, I can't afford this, or I can't do this. Yet I want to ask you, are you tapping into your abundance mindset? How can you shift into knowing that money's always going to come to you? Money's always going to be around you. There are new opportunities every single day, right? So this is a card of making sure you're not too stuck in your ways. How can you shift your perspective? Our block. So I see the 10 of Wands reverse. So I feel like we're still releasing a lot from the past this month. This makes so much sense because we still have quite a few planets retrograde, but also even though Mercury ends its retrograde in September, we're tracing back our old steps. We're seeing things in a new perspective, and we're still in the Mercury retrograde shadow period. Now, with eclipse season, things are going to get chaotic. This is going to be a purge for us. So whatever you can do to let bygones be bygones, that's the message I'm really hearing. And just to let things go, release, let go of any past hurt or pain or tension. You've been carrying a lot of weight with you. And I see that you're so close. You're so close in letting it go. You're just a sliver away. And this is going to free up so much energy and space for you. This is going to help you so much in calling in what you actually want. I asked for a clarifier and we got the Six of Pentacles. So this is super interesting. I feel like your block is maybe there's a relationship where that other person is not showing up for you in the way you wanted, or you're putting in so much energy and effort, but someone is not matching your energy. So you could be having some conversations around this this month of, okay, is this worth it? Is this relationship worth it to me? And this could be a friendship, romantic relationship, or business partnership, but you're seeing this as, I want to balance this out, but I feel like I'm getting crumbs. I'm seeing this visual as maybe you are a tall glass of water and someone else is a small cup of water, and you're pouring your cup into their cup. It's overflowing. You're putting all this love and attention onto them. And when they try to do it to you, it's disappointing. It's not matching your energy. And we have to recognize that everyone has a different capacity, but also that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your needs, right? Tune into what you need in a relationship and speak up about what you need in a relationship. That's going to be super, super pivotal for you to do this month. So I see us having a lot of conversations about relationships that aren't matching our energy. I asked for advice on this situation and we got the 10 of Pentacles. So this is super interesting. This actually fell off of where I'm sitting and it took me a while to grab the card again. So I see this as we don't necessarily know what's going to happen in the future, but really think of things in terms of the long game. Think of what is best for you long term, and think of envisioning your life of what would feel more stable and safe and grounded for you in the future. What can you build for yourself right now? May that be more self-worth and self-love and self-value so that you can show up in a relationship that is more aligned for you. Or this could be building a business and thinking of your business in the long term, thinking of what is sustainable, thinking of what would make the most impact and still bring you in money, but also help more people. So this card is asking you to think about the long-term gain and really envision your life of what you want to manifest for the future. I think this is a beautiful card for the new moon in Virgo, by the way, because there's going to be a lot of manifestation energy for the new moon in Virgo. So this is super interesting. Your oracle cards are cultivate stillness. So this month, make sure you're scheduling in rest and breaks to take time to recharge. This is going to be needed. Try not to rush this month. You're going to feel like you need to because of eclipse season, but whatever you can do to slow things down, stay present, and really enjoy your time, that's going to help so much more. We also got little by little, so sometimes we want to speed up the process. However, it's about the journey and not the destination. This is your reminder that every small step you make is helping you in the long run. Every small step you're making in terms of your decisions for yourself, in terms of the boundaries you're setting for yourself, in terms of the inner work you're doing, it's so, so beneficial. I'm so proud of you for doing it. I'm so proud of you. Our final card is Yes, You Can. So I love this oracle card. There's a rainbow on this card, and this is a beautiful sign reminding you that if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been procrastinating on something, if you've been wanting to give up, this card is reminding you that you can do it. It is for you because you want it. You would not have the desire if it's not meant for you. So trust yourself. Know that whatever you believe about yourself, it's true. So believe that you can do it and you can do it. So I'm not sure who needed that message, but I really hope it helped. And if you want to dive deep into your North and South Node energy to find more fulfillment and flow in your relationships and career, and also just understand your life path this lifetime, you can check out my Finding Your Fulfillment course, which will be 50% off for a limited time. And if you want to book a reading with me, I don't have any spots for September. However, I do have a few spots for October if you want to plan ahead, if you want to dive deep into your birth chart with me to uncover your strengths, your challenges, your life path, your blind spots, and how you can really use your birth chart to really understand your career and relationships. So you could check that out down below. If you're celebrating a birthday, you could check out my solar return readings. And I really hope this helped, friend. Happy September. Please let me know what's been happening for you. I'm sending you so much love. Take care.